How you all doing? Hope you're doing well. Just a wee chat from the kitchen about grips in modern golf and why back in the day when Braid and Varden and all these greats were playing the game, they were all playing it a different way to the modern players that now play the game. So there's two real ways to swing the golf club. One that has been lost, that the greats used, and the modern way. And grips greatly affect us, like hugely, which is why I've gone back to normal sized grips. Some might even say slightly undersized grips rather than oversized or jumbo. Jumbo grips are a modern invention, modern swing, if you like. It takes the hands out the swing, right? And really does stop any of this movement going on. And if you've tried this throw on the 45 with a Varden grip, obviously 90-degree angle, 45 angle, throw up there. The Varden grip is no accident that your hand, lead hand, turns on the angle of 45. This thumb line here goes up in between the chin and the shoulder, and so does this one, so that you're throwing up on that 45. With a thick grip, guess what? Yeah, it's really difficult to throw up on that 45 because it hinders your wrist hinge, right? Modern swing's rotational. This swing is vertical lift with a turn. Big difference. So if you've got jumbo size grips and you're struggling, don't go and change your grips. Just get a loan of a standard size grip and feel the difference. Also, another major difference with this, when you think back to Varden and Braid and Bobby Jones, all these greats, they were swinging in heavy tweed jackets, waistcoats, shirt and ties, long sleeve shirts, but obviously I've got this modern body warmer on just to prove a point. So they weren't really rotational because they had so much tight gear on and like long coats, like actual long coats. If they were rotational, everything would get in the way and it just couldn't be done. So that's why this swing works, and you can train with a number of layers in your mid section so that you can train this. We've done it on the range, long coats on as well, so that you can learn how to swing and release the club. But the grip thing, in back in the day with hickory clubs and everything like that, the grips were even thinner, and the modern game would have you believe that your hands shouldn't be active or involved in the swing, but in a different way to the way this old lost swing works. And a few of the Henry Cotton books that I've got 3 or 4 from Henry Cotton. He spends at least 50 odd pages talking about grips and golf grips and the various different ways through the years and ages of player that players grip the club. There was even a player, an Italian, who used a piccolo grip, and it was such called piccolo because he didn't even hold it in his hands, it was purely in his fingers, and he actually held his hands like that. So it was like he was playing a flute, or a piccolo flute. That's why they called it the piccolo grip. Now you try holding a club like that and swinging rotationally, and I think you'll find that ain't going to happen. without the club departing from your grasp rather quickly. I think, you know, the major thing that drew my attention to everything that must be completely wrong with golf was the fact that if you go for equipment and the advances in golf ball, and you go back the way with old equipment, but with a modern ball, and you hit the shots, you might get a yardage difference, probably tops of 20 to 50 yards. And that's obviously hitting the ball out the middle. Or the main difference, the old equipment to the new equipment, is vertical flight. Old equipment, it was nigh near impossible to get vertical flight with distance. Modern equipment, it does that. So the game should be easier and all our handicaps should be getting lower. If any of this modern instruction actually did anything for you, but clearly it doesn't, because the handicap system is even worse now than it was, and handicaps are higher than they ever were. But the equipment side of it, the instruction side of it, nothing is giving anybody any advantage anymore, unless you're one of the 2% that do this move that I've broke down. I've showed you it's two equal but opposite moves, opposite and equal forces working together at the same time, which become invisible once you practice enough and get the timing and the blend between the vertical lift on the 45 and the turn. It's always been there all the way through the ages. For some reason, modern golf decided that was a bad swing. They didn't like to see the reverse C finish. They didn't like to see the flowing kind of rhythmical hands of like Bobby Jones and Henry Cotton, you know, the long, silky, flowing, smooth action. Why? Who knows, right? Who knows? But because of the perpetuation of this on TV and on instruction and in books and magazines, we've all been brainwashed over the last 30, 40 years that this must be the right way to swing, eh? Meanwhile, the handicaps of all of us have got steadily worse, and none of us have really got any better at golf. I'll need to go, that's the door. We'll continue this another time. Thanks for watching.